Are you doing it on Twitch?
YouTube. I
YouTube?
figured we'd just keep it going since I already have it all set up. We should be rolling now.
And it's probably easier than.
Oh shit! I lost my intro. Okay, I got it back. Let me know if we're going. We should be. No, nothing.
No?
Says we're live. Says we've been live for 15 seconds.
No?
Try again. It's live for me.
I keep refreshing it.
Oh, just
Let
try
me try
calling
something I
it.
can do. You know what, dude?
Be careful. We
Fucking, we're
are
gonna have
live.
problems, dude.
we
We're
are.
gonna have problems. It's not coming up for me.
All right, hold on. I can just unmute it and see if my
Careful.
voice. We
Fucking, we're
are
gonna have
live.
problems, dude.
Okay, yeah, that's working for me. You're coming through and I'm coming through. We'll just wing it. All right. Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Side Quest Trio. Except, as you can tell, there's only two of us this week. Izzy's going to be hopping in eventually, I think. He unfortunately didn't get the chance to finish this season this week, so I don't know if he's gonna for sure hop on or not. But if he does, we're kind of having to wing his portion. But anyway, we're talking about Love Chunibyo and Other Delusions. One of a very very charming rom com by Kyoto Animation.
Very close to my heart.
Yeah, it came out in 2012. You got anything off the top as a broad spectrum before we get into the episodes breakdown?
Yeah, so this was my episode that I got to choose that got spun. This is
Again,
obviously, if you watched last episode, this is in my top 10 favorite animes of all time. And it's fantastic. I finished it in like 3 days. So if you haven't watched it for some fucking reason, watch it. Yeah, it's my favorite anime, one of my favorite animes of all time. So I got to rewatch it for the fourth time, I think.
yeah, this one is great. It's up there. I'd say it's easily in my top 15, or at least for sure 20. But I'm more of like the actiony kind of guy. I didn't get into the slice of
I'm more of
life
a
stuff till
romance
later
guy.
on.
I'm a slice of life romance kind of guy. Call me what you want, but it is what it is. I fucking love them.
No, I get it. I mean, every anime movie I've seen, the only ones I genuinely remember are the slice of life romance ones.
Well,
Besides
I mean,
Studio Ghibli.
all the good ones besides Studio Ghibli, all the good ones are slice of life slash romance.
Yeah.
So
Well, anyway, so I had the first four episodes, and the first four are really, for the most part, character introductions. So I didn't do what we usually do and give a kind of blow by blow by scene, which we're going to potentially be changing that next week. I think we got to find a different rhythm.
yeah,
Um, but we'll
and
we'll talk about that
let us
next
know
week if it happens.
if you're watching it for some reason. Let us know what you think about the current way we do it, and any pointers or anything that you would like to see.
Yeah, we're
Feel
still
free to
trying
leave
to
a comment.
figure this stuff out. Obviously, we kind of don't know what we're doing. Um, but anyway, so I took a very brief description of the episodes, but instead took notes on what I call highlights, and it's just Rika being Rika, as you will see here soon if you haven't seen this show at all before. So, episode one, the story begins with a high school freshman Yuta Togashi who is trying to leave behind his embarrassing Chunibyo past. Chunibyo is basically like an overactive imagination, pretty much. You pretend you have superpowers and you like try to be the edgy superhero. Basically,
Yeah, dude,
is what Chunibyo is.
imagine those cringe TikToks you see about those anime nerds. That's basically what it
Yeah,
is.
it's basically that, but those people think that's how their life is. Um, Specifically, his old persona, the Dark Flame Master, and hoping for a normal high school life, he kind of gets rid of this phase and moves as far away from his, or doesn't move, but goes to a high school as far away as he can from his middle school. His plans unravel when he meets Rika Takanashi, a girl who is still deep into her Chunibyo fantasies and declares herself the wielder of the Eye of the Wicked Lord. After discovering Yuta's former persona, she becomes fascinated with him and starts inserting herself into his life. By the end of the episode, Yuta realizes that escaping his past isn't going to be as easy as he hoped. So, very basic summary there, but here's some highlights of Rika being Rika. She pretends to open the train doors. They're automatic doors. She sticks her hand out like, she has the force. Everybody's done it. Going up to an automatic door and you stick your hand out and you're like, open. She pulls one of
29,
those.
I still do that shit.
She acts like her eye is resonating when she sees Yuta in her class. She doesn't like water. And let's see here. She thinks everything about Yuta's past is cool, and he's just overwhelmingly embarrassed by it. Rika's eye, she wears an eye patch, and her eye turns out to just be a color contact lens. Yuta, let's see here. I'm sorry. Rika thinks her sister works for the Invisible Boundary Line Bureau or something. Is that what it's called?
Yeah, something like that.
It's something bureau.
Yeah.
Rika has Hillies. I put in parentheses, sick. That is fucking sick.
Dude, that was fucking fire, dude. I was not expecting her to be like fucking kick out the Heelys and start going. I'm like, dude, that's fucking crazy cool.
Rika thinks her umbrella is a weapon. I can't remember what she calls it, but it's something Mark II prototype. It's German. It's like Schwarz something Mark II prototype. She hates tomatoes.
Same sister.
Let's see here. And yeah, that's pretty much Rika being Rika in the first episode. So my favorite part of this episode is when she takes off her eye patch for the first time, because Yuta's in his head. He's like, "There's no way. Could it be?" And if I don't remember what happens, but she does something and it makes her contact fall out. And he's like, "Oh, it's just a color contact lens." She's like, "Oh, excuse me."
Yeah. She had to get eye drops, so they went to the nurse's office. Yeah, and he was giving her eye drops, and she was like, "Oh, don't take off the patch. You're gonna be banished from this realm."
Yeah, right. So yeah, not just a lot of character introduction. Really, only two, Rika and Yuta. So yeah, Yuta, he was deep into this life that Rika's in, and while he was in middle school, like probably more so than her.
Definitely, yeah, definitely.
And then Rika, you come to find out later on why she's still so stuck into this lifestyle, and it's kind of sad, but it's not kind of sad. It is fucking sad, but
it is very sad.
But yeah, she is still very much deep into it, and she thinks like the old Yuta was the tits, and the new Yuta is like lame and gay.
Yeah, the fucking like he has so much stuff from his phase. Like there's boxes of it. He's basically just standing outside on the balcony, and like his little sister pulls out this huge fucking sword, and he's got all these contraptions of all this stuff. Like he had a whole get up, like a whole cosplay of the fucking his Chunibyo persona, and it's like you come to find out, eventually that. Rika's at the same level, but I mean, he was like into it, and he really wants to hide his entire past of his middle school, and that fucking sucks for him.
Yeah,
to have to like drop everything. Like, you know what? I'm going to a school. I have to take a train to this school to get away from everybody that I know. And I chose this high school because nobody I know is going to go here.
If I remember correctly, in the first episode, this isn't the actual case. As we get later on into the episode, you'll see why. But in the first episode, it's revealed that she thinks that he's the Dark Flame Master because he was standing out on the balcony of the gym, like kind of talking to himself and like doing his old like get up, and he's like, "Oh, why'd I do that? I got to leave that behind me."
Yeah,
and she saw it, and he didn't think anybody was around to see it, so she uses that as an excuse to like confront him basically about it, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's episode 1. If you're gonna watch this, you gotta watch it just for Rico alone. I mean, she's by far the best
dude,
character.
she is the best character in the series. Actually, she's fucking hilarious.
My favorite's actually Sanai with the way we'll get into her eventually, but Rika's up there. Sana, I just think is probably one of the best supporting characters ever.
She is probably the best supporting character ever, and we'll get into that. Let's go to episode 2, I guess.
All right, so episode 2. Do what? I didn't do. Okay, episode
yeah. I mean,
1.
do you want me to go ahead and pull out season 2's little spiel?
No, I got it. It's just I didn't know if you had the episode names. I didn't write them down again.
Yeah, dude.
They're in Chinese.
These are Japanese.
They're in Japanese on IMDb. So
I'm sorry, I'm white. Senritsu no.
Yeah, it's okay.
Desu.
It's fine. Whatever. We don't know what it means. Episode 2. Yuta is still trying to live a normal high school life after abandoning his old Chunibyo habits, but Rika refuses to let him escape the world of delusions so easily. She follows him around, stages non-existent threats from the Boundary Line Bureau, while in search for the invisible boundary lines herself. During all of this, Yuta grows closer to a girl named Nibutani. She's like the popular girl in his class.
Yep.
And it's someone he hopes to see him as normal, but Rika, continues to be around him and pull him back into the fantasy world, or attempting to pull him back into the fantasy world.
Yeah.
In this episode, Kumin is also introduced. She's a sleepy upperclassman who goes along with things without really understanding what's happening. And that's pretty much it. So this episode introduces Nibutani, which she's kind of introduced in the first one, but not at all.
Very briefly.
This is where she's introduced as like, hey, she's going to be a mainstay of the story, and then Kumin as well. And Nibutani's like your stereotypical, she's the popular girl, right? Like, Yuta has a crush on her at the beginning of the series. And then Kumin... Kumin is just the... I don't have a better way to describe her than the punching bag character. She obviously, no one like beats her up, but she's just the you can get her to go along with anything type of character. You know
she's like not the butt end of every joke, but she's always there doing what everybody else tells her to do.
Well, usually napping, but like she's always she's for the group at all times. Like she's
always there.
Yeah, her thing is introduced in a later episode. She wants to start a napping club. We'll get into that, but like that's her character, is like she's always napping for some reason.
Yes. Yeah.
So here's the Rika highlights from this episode. She finds a cat, names it Chimera because of course she does. Rika takes in this cat, names it Chimera, and then asks Yuta to take care of it because her sister, who she lives with, is allergic, aka the priestess. There's a calculator outside of Rika's apartment door that she uses to disable a magical barrier before she enters her apartment. Rika's room is full of random junk, air quotes, artifacts. Her stuffed turtle, for example, is named Genbu, and he is the protector of the North. Yuta's old habits come out a bit when he sees a Mauser. The cat, or Chimera, has a harness with wings on it. At some point during this episode, there's like a little story where they think it could be Kumin's cat. It's not. That's kind of how Kumin gets introduced, is by like this, because of this cat.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Rika, her sister shows up and asks whose cat is this, and then Rika runs out of her room, saying and she says activating escape plan alpha. Let's see here. Rika's sister asks Yuta to take care of the cat. He refuses, but Rika's sister has a recording of him pretending to be the Dark Flame Master out on his balcony. They live in the apartment above Yuta and his family.
Yeah. Yep.
Let's see here. Rika, Kumin, and Yuta run off during Escape Plan Alpha, and Rika refers to her sister for the first time as the priestess.
The priestess. And
there's a flashback where Rika attempted to chain Toka, which is Rika's sister's name, to the bed, but her sister had like stuffed pillows in the bed to make it look like someone was in there, and Rika claims that the priestess unfairly used teleportation techniques to get out of her bindings. Then there's the first of a couple crazy well animated fight scenes for a rom-com. Like, there's for 2012, they're so well animated. Like I can tell you this show's animated better than season 3 of One Punch Man. So
Fucking dude, it kills me. The fight scenes, the few and far fight scenes in this series are so well done and so well
like
animated for a like a slice of life romance like
yeah, and
Chunibyo
they're all
kind of.
like 30 seconds long.
Yeah, and they're fucking awesome, dude. They are
Like
so cool.
so like during this fight scene, Rika does, where she bites her finger and there's like that blood summoning animation.
Yeah, yeah.
Like there's that, which obviously there's also parts of this fight scene where it cuts into the real world and it's just nonsense. But unfortunately, Rika doesn't win this fight and she gets a cooking ladle straight to the head.
Oh
So does
yeah,
Kuman,
the
if I remember
priestess.
correctly. Yeah,
Yeah, the priestess. Yeah, because she's like they're standing by or they're sitting behind like cover,
yeah,
and human goes out and she looks above it and she goes, "Oh, there's a light coming," and then fucking a
yeah. It's a
ladle
ladle.
straight to the fucking dome piece. Dude, she get her fucking head smoothed off by that thing.
Yeah. So let's see. Yeah, there's the very well animated fight scene. That's pretty much all I have on episode 2. Introduced as 2 new characters. And there's the fight scene, and it's still you get introduced to Toka, and Toka obviously. So I guess 3 new characters. My bad. Toka
Yeah,
obviously does not put up with Rika's shenaniganery at all.
no, she's very strict. She seems like whenever Rika starts talking about like her Chunibyo fantasies and things, she's very cut dry. Hey, this is dumb, and then she smacks you in the head with a ladle.
Yep.
You really this episode is just introducing these characters. Great fight scene, fucking awesome fight scene for no fucking reason. Yeah, episode 2.
Yep. All right. Episode 3. Sorry, I gotta scroll back down. So this one follows
Oh
Utah as
wait,
he. What?
I
You
got
want to
it.
try? You want to attempt it
The
again?
heretical pigtailed girl.
Oh, you found the English translation.
I found the
So what
English
was episode
translation.
1 and 2?
Episode 1 is Chance Encounter with Wicked Lord Shingan, which in Japanese that's her name. Episode 2 is Priestess of the Melody.
Oh, okay. So all right. So episode 3 follows Utah as he keeps. Utah's the main character. I don't have to keep saying this. I don't know why I do. Follows Utah as he keeps trying and failing to shake off his cringy Dark Flame Master past. Rika has officially joined his. Or, well, she was in his class already, but I don't know why I put that. Rika and Utah are in the same class, and her over the top delusions immediately start causing him headache at school. As she drags him into her strange world, the early pieces of what will become their club begin to fall into place. Between the goofy battles and awkward moments, Yuta starts to see that there's something more behind Rika's behavior, hinting at an emotional bond that's slowly forming between them. So, cool. Yeah, they start a club in this episode. But more importantly,
Far
here's the
Eastern
Rika
Magic
highlights.
Society.
Yeah, well, we'll get to it. Hold on.
Sorry.
It's in the Rika highlights. So, the priestess prepares big lunches for Rika, and all of her classmates are commenting on it. And Rika says that she needs a high calorie intake to stay strong for any battles up ahead. The priestess. She also claims that the priestess is a chef, and that's her disguise from the bureau. Let's see here. Oh, there's a scene where they're in the gym, and you've probably seen this one on TikTok, where Rika shoots a note to Yuta, and Yuta shoots
Yeah.
it back, and it hits her in the eye patch, and she goes,
Yeah.
"Ow." Let's see here. Rika wants to establish a secret base of operations at the school, aka a club, and she's going to call it the Far East Magical Society. She also slide tackles Yuta when he tries to walk away. This becomes
Super
a mainstay of her character. She attempts to slide tackle so many people.
So impressive.
Let's see here. While they're attempting to recruit people, Rika asks a classmate to sign her soul over to the Far East Magical Society. Kuman is also trying to recruit people to her napping club, so they decide to combine and call it the Far East Napping Society for a minute. Name changes again before the end of the episode, don't worry. Nibutani and Rika try out the cheerleading club. Rika does it because she saw the people, like the stunters, the people that get thrown in the air, and she thinks that they're flying. So of course she wants to try it. But Rika's attention is soon drawn by the theater club. And there's one scene where they're trying to. It's two characters, and you gotta ad lib, or what's the word I'm looking for?
No,
Not
you got it
ad
right.
lib.
No,
Ad
I mean
lib.
technically that is you have
Improv.
to
Improv. You
improv.
gotta
Okay.
improv. There's a bridge, and there's only room for, one person to cross, and you're trying to improv to convince the other person to cross over. And one girl's like, "Oh, please, my husband's dying. I need to go see him." And Rika's just saying, and she goes, "Ha, pathetic. The eye of the wicked Lord will strike you down," or something like that. And anyway, so Rika, she's a shoe-in for the drama club, but she's just acting like she normally would, so she doesn't know that these other people are acting.
Yeah, she's trying to act out her Chunibyo fantasies while everybody else is trying to act out actual scenes. Oh, my mother's dying.
Yeah.
She's like, oh, well, the eye of the wicked Lord doing fucking yeah, great scene.
So there's a scene where Rika calls somebody on her cell phone, and she says, "The Cardinal," this is a direct quote, "The Cardinal has moved into action by the order of the Vatican Magical Society, yada, yada, yada." We find out who that is later, but, actually, that's my next line. We find out that is Sanai Dekamori. And Sanai Dekamori is, of course, the wielder of the legendary Mjolnir hammer.
Mjolnir.
And let's see. Rika claims to have an immortal spirit always by her side, aka another personality that is also French. This comes up while they're trying to convince the teacher to let them have a club, and she's like, "Well, you need one more member." And Rika's like, "Oh, well, I have an immortal spirit." And then she's like, "Oh, it's taking over my body." And she acts like she has a French accent, but then the teacher speaks actual French to her.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Rika and Dekamori fight each other. Another super well animated fight scene for some reason, just out of nowhere. Dekamori has a book called The Mabinogion, and it was written by a magician called Mori Summer. And then at the end of the episode, Nibutani decides to join, and Rika renames the club the Far East Magical Napping Society, apostrophe, Summer Thereafter. Or not apostrophe, I'm sorry, Summer Thereafter.
There you go.
Thereof.
Thereof, yeah.
I don't know what that's about, but that's the name of the club now. I don't know where the thereof comes from. I can't remember, but
yeah.
Name.
Yeah, dude. Of course, all these episodes I thoroughly enjoy. The fight scene, fantastic. Of course, you get introduced to Decamorin. She's a middle school girl who thinks that Rika is her master, and she basically just follows her around. And they're super into Chunibyo, both of them. And yeah, dude, it's a fucking fantastic episode. Of course, all of them fucking are.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is really just introducing the club, I guess.
Yeah, we're still in the phase of each episode is pretty much just to introduce new characters. This should be all of them. After this episode, there's one character that was introduced in episode 1. It's Yuta's friend, but he doesn't really become super important until the latter half of the season 1.
Yeah.
But he's not Chunibyo at all. He's just a regular high school dude for the most part.
Yeah, in the first episode, they meet and they're talking because they sit next to each other, and he's basically just a normal guy, and he's like, and Yuta's like, "Oh my god, I made a friend that doesn't, know me."
The only thing if I recall, he regrets from middle school was shaving his head because of baseball. Like, he wasn't Chunibyo. He's just for the most part, quote unquote, a regular dude.
Yeah, dude, quote unquote, regular but bald.
Yeah,
which
right.
makes it irregular.
So, you got anything else for 3? Or are you?
No.
All right. So episode 4 is called.
Episode 4 is regret the Mabinogion. Mabinogion. I got it right the first time. Right. Fuck you.
The seemingly perfect class rep, Shinka Nibutani, joined the club just to destroy evidence of her past as a severe Chunibyo named Mori Summer. Her biggest obstacle is the new student Sanai Dekamori, who now possesses the embarrassing notebook, the Mabinogion. Yuta discovers Nibutani's secret, adding another former Chunibyo to their group who is desperate to hide her past. All right. Now, on to the Rika highlights. Um, Rika and Sanai are in the club with flashlights and a summoning circle on the floor, and they claim they're holding a witch's sabbath, and they have poor Kumin in the middle of their pentagram, acting like she's their sacrifice.
And
And they're
she's
both
passed.
like, "Oh, it worked! The wicked flame, or what is he? The wicked flame lord, or whatever? Is that what Yuta used to call himself?
Yuta?
Yeah, Dark Flame Master. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Dark Flame
They're like,
Master.
"Ah, it worked! The Dark Flame Master has appeared." And Yuta just happened to walk into the club room at that time. So obviously, in their mind, they think their summoning circle worked perfectly. Um, let's see. Yuta locks Sanai into a locker, and she asks if it's a gateway to a parallel world. Uh, Rika at some point is under Yuta's bed. Um, and she comes out and says she's found nothing about the invisible boundary lines, but she did find a sinister magazine. Homie had himself a porno under there, and she states that the magazine has corrupt. He's there. I'm sorry. She states that the Dark Flame Master has been corrupted by this human world. Uh, Yuta shows Rika a portal to the alternate dimension to distract her while Nibutani comes over to his house. Nibutani only planned on coming there because the Mabinogion was in his possession at the time.
Yep.
Due to the cloudy weather, the portal did not open, so Rika and Sanai come back while Nibutani is burning the Mabinogion. And Sanai acts like she's just completely destroyed by this, but she says it's okay because she has many backup copies. And she starts calling Nibutani the fake Mori Summer.
Yep.
Let's see here. Then Nibutani acts like Mori Summer in an attempt to convince Sanai to delete the other copies of the Mabinogion. And at the beginning of the fight, Nibutani throws a ribbon, and Sanai runs up to it and wraps it around her arm, acting like it actually hit her. And she says, "So you have some skill after all." And then another well-animated fight scene comes out of nowhere.
Yeah.
But to end the fight, Sanai starts quoting the Mabinogion, and Nibutani just like, she's so cringed by what she used to write in middle school that she just like freaks out. She's like, "Oh, stop, stop, stop!" And Sanai's like, "Ah, I knew it. A fake would never be able to hear the words of Mori Summer." So just farther convincing Sanai of her delusions. And yeah, so that's pretty much. Oh, there's a quick shot where Kumin gives Nibutani the official membership pillow number 5. I just threw that
Yeah.
in there because I thought it was that was no homo. That was fucking sweet as fuck.
That is sweet as fuck, dude.
But yeah, that's episode 4 in a nutshell with some not just Rika highlights, but new Sanai thrown in there as well.
Yeah, episode 4, my favorite part is whenever they leave, I guess, Yuta's room or whatnot, because Nibutani was looking for the book. And whenever Deko leaves, she's up on a bridge, and that's whenever the fight scene commences. And Nibutani throws down that string or the ribbon to
Oh
Deko,
yeah,
and like the fight scene starts to commence, but then it goes back to reality, and Deko just runs up to it, wraps it around her hand herself, and she's like, "I didn't know you had skill."
yeah, I love that part, dude. It's fucking
I was like, dude,
hilarious.
that's fucking awesome. It's really, I mean, episode 4, it really just showing that Deco's so far into Chunibyo as well, and that Nibutani does have had a Chunibyo pass as well, and she had this book that she had written basically, and she was answering all these questions from Deco over the years, and yeah, episode 4
Yeah,
basically just
so
more character building.
episode 5, 6, 7, and 8, that was Izzy's part, so we don't really have a bunch of notes, but so we're just gonna read the synopsis of the episode, and then we'll fill in with what little or any comments we have. So 5, Rika and Yuta face their low grades, and their club is blamed. Or I'm sorry, it's not Yuta. Yuta had fine grades, but just Rika
Yeah. Okay.
is getting low grades in specifically math, and their club is being blamed as the culprit for why. Rika begins a new battle with her latest opponent, Math. Okay, I guess I should have just kept reading. Meanwhile, Dekamori and Nibutani continue to butt heads. So,
Yeah,
from what I can remember, some highlights from this episode, Rika, instead of studying, she goes to the teachers and like, we got to figure out a different way for our club to be useful for the teachers, and they volunteer to clean the pool. But
yep,
instead, like Sanai and Nibutani just argue and bicker and pretend to fight each other the whole time,
yeah,
and they get nothing done. And then there's like a study montage for a bit, and Rika ends up getting a 52 on the test. So like at the end of the episode, you think, oh shit, the club's gonna get dissolved. But the math teacher's like, you all did poorly. The class average was 50. So Rika technically did score better than the average, which she was told if she didn't, the club was gonna be dissolved.
yeah.
Um, but I don't really remember a lot of other crazy things
I
going on.
remember, yeah, like I remember she so like the midterm exams, she was like, "Oh, these are trial from the forces beyond,"
Yeah,
and so like they Yuta helps her basically study, and at first it's super hard, but then he kind of gives into her Chunibyo aspects to get her to study. Um, uh, he Rika basically is like, I'm gonna summon powers to understand math better. And so she ends up getting better than the average, which makes the club stay a club. Because as long as she got the average, of course, then the club would
yeah.
be.
I think also this is the episode where because it was so grades heavy, and Sanai is very good at math, and this is the
Yes.
episode where it's like revealed that Sanai's so smart that she's actually being moved up a grade, so now she's a freshman with all of them.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like,
Because like she's like super smart. She's very good at math, and uh, she's like top of her class.
yeah, Nibutani obviously hates that because she fucking hates Sanai pretty much because she has her embarrassing book. But yeah, this one there's not a. I'm sure there's
Yeah,
more
I mean,
Rika highlights. I just
there's a
can't
lot
remember them
of
off the top of my
yeah,
head.
there's a lot of plot lines, of course, like whenever she's studying math, she's really just scribbling on papers, like drawings of her and in Chunibyo personality.
Yeah,
Um, it's basically just like one of those study, I'm gonna help you study kind of episodes. And I'm sure there's probably some underlying things that we're missing, but the most part of it was just keeping the club that they have intact. Really,
yeah.
that was the entire episode.
All right, episode 6. Rika makes club
On
uniform. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Oh yeah, read 5 too. I still have the Japanese versions
five is a
open.
binding hard study,
Okay.
and six is the atoned innocent.
Okay, lovely. So Rika makes club uniforms for everyone, further humiliating Yuta. Tension between Nibutani and Dekamori continue to grow. Ishiki receives a love letter, but his plans hit a snag before they ever begin. So the main storyline in this one is at the very beginning of episode 1, Ishiki asks Yuta if he's going to vote in the class's hottest girl poll. And
Mhm.
during this episode, Ishiki accidentally drops his results from the poll, and another girl finds it. And there's a scene where like Nibutani, she's the class rep. She's just like, which one of you boys voted in this poll? This is disgusting. You can't rank girls on their hotness. Blah blah blah. Typical fucking chick being pissed off,
Yeah,
right,
a dude.
at a
Yeah,
dude for saying chicks are hot. But I that's the main thing in this episode, and I guess this is really the episode that kind of introduces Ishiki,
yeah,
more
more in
so as a
depth.
character,
Definitely. Yeah,
because at the end, this is also where you find out he was bald. Like that was his only like regret from middle school, was having to shave his head for baseball, and as penance for his list, he decides to shave his head as an apology
yeah,
to all the girls. So I guess this episode is more so just really to show Ishiki as a character. Really
yeah.
don't
Like
remember much else about this one.
yeah, Nivatani's like up in the front of the class, like yelling at everybody, and she's like, "Hey, whoever wrote this
Oh yeah,
needs to stand up and take account for what you've done." and everybody's like real still. No guys want to talk, and Yuta's like, I'm gonna stand up or I'm gonna say something at least. And then Ishiki gets up and goes, "It was me. I did it." And he basically gives this whole spiel about how nobody else in the
Yeah,
class
he's the
wrote about
martyr.
this. He's the martyr. He's the one that did all of this. Nobody else knew anything about it. And he's like, as my penance, I'll shave my head. And they him and Yuta talk about it, and he's like, I'm not gonna shave my head. That's stupid.
Yeah, yeah,
Everybody's gonna forget about it, dude. It's whatever. And then Nibutani's like, no, you're gonna shave your head. And so they go into their club room, and Yuta and Ishiki have a good scene where they're like heart to heart. They're hugging each other. And he's like, dude, I'm so sorry. And Yuta basically just shaves his head. He comes out with a huge dome piece. I mean,
yeah, right, yeah.
off, dude. His head bald, and everybody's just making fun of him basically for being bald. So that's really the gist. It's just really, yeah, just introducing Ishiki as a character and that he's kind of more of a main part of the story.
Yeah, yeah, shit, I lost my train of thought. Oh, so at the beginning of the episode, Ishiki gets a love letter, and by the end of it, he's like waiting under the tree that the love letter told him to wait under. So we never get to see who the love letter was written by, because obviously whoever wrote it was turned off by the idea that he had a disgusting list of hot girls
And a bald head.
and a bald head now. Yeah, but at the end, like all the boys from class like show up under the tree and like pray and like lift him up and like he's the hero.
Yeah,
You know, he
yeah.
has his hero moment.
Whenever he was the martyr, stood up in class, was like, "I'm the one that did it. I'm the only one." And then all the boys just get up and start clapping. They're like, "Yes, dude." Everybody was shedding a tear because he was the one that took the entire thing on his back. That was a good scene. So yeah, it was basically just showing Ishiki.
Yeah. Do you want to do 7 and 8, or do you want me to keep rolling?
Yeah. So episode 7, Renaissance of Paradise Lost. Again, it's another one that we don't have a whole lot of notes about, but it's a trip to Rika's hometown, and it reveals more about her than Yuta had anticipated. Dekamori continues her antics against her nemesis Mori Summer. Yuta and Rika escape the house in search of an invisible boundary line and end up in a place that Rika holds dear to her heart. A little bit more in depth about it. So they go back to Rika's hometown. Toka's there with them, the priestess, um, and they're staying with their grandparents. You don't find out a whole lot about it until about halfway through the episode. You find out that Rika's father had passed away, and she uses her Chunibyo disguise, her personality or persona, as a disguise to kind of put a barrier between herself and the real world. Um, they have it's one of those beach episodes where they're all at the beach, they're having a great time, and then Rika's like, "Hey, Yuta, let's go off. I need to show you something." And he basically takes Yuta to their family home that's not there anymore. It ended up being bulldozed or whatnot, and Toka basically just gets mad at her. It was like, you need to drop the disguise. This is real world problems that you need to deal with, and right in front of you. And Yuta basically stands up to her and is like, hey, that this is how she wants to control her feelings, then let her do that. The end of the episode, they leave. Rika takes a train back, and Yuta didn't know where she was at first, but ends up, there's a scene where Rika's sitting on the train ride home, and Yuta is like, hey, he appears and sits down, and uh, since Toka's back at her grandparents' house, she has no way into her house because she left her key, and Yuta and Rika stay at Yuta's house or apartment
Yeah, this
alone.
is this is the first episode where you realize like they both are developing a crush on each other, right? Like especially like that night while Rika's at the house, she's like, "Why is my heart beating so fast?" She can't fall asleep.
Yeah.
Um,
And it's sad because you find out that Rika didn't know that her dad was dying, and they were really tight.
yeah,
Um, and so it's sad that you learn that in the first 6 episodes, it's like, this is delusional. She's, using this persona to just, have a big imagination. But then you find out that there's a reason why she does what she does. And it's a very sad take on it. Um, yeah, it's sad as fuck.
So, yeah, as sad as this episode is, I do have one. This is my absolute favorite line, and it's repeated multiple times during this episode. And anytime the word barrier gets mentioned, Sanai Dekamura replies with, "Barrier is a strong shielding technique." She says it multiple times. Like, someone's like, "Oh, there's a." This isn't exactly what it is, but like, so if someone's like, "Oh, there's a barrier to entry," Sanai's just like, "Barrier is a strong magical shielding technique." It's my favorite line from the whole season, or the whole season, and for some reason it comes up multiple times in this episode.
Yeah, this is a great episode. It really kind of shows why Rika does what she does, and why Toka's always pissed off, and why she's the priestess is, the fact that she's trying to pull Rika out of her, delusions. And of course it doesn't work really.
Yeah.
Now episode 8, sorry, I apologize. I kind of ran episode 7 into 8 because this is whenever they go to the house. That's whenever her heart's always beating. She kind of figures out that she likes Yuta, but she kind of does it in a way where she's hidden by her personality.
Yeah,
Um,
instead of telling him, they make a pact. Oh, excuse me. They make a pact.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
you
they
can
make a
skip the
pact.
synopsis. It's fun.
Yeah, it's exiled just the two of them. So that's whenever they're home alone. Yeah,
Yeah, and I believe
that's whenever they come back.
like the side characters in this one. Also, Ishiki's like, "Oh, I like Kumin," so that's kind
Oh
of
yeah, and that's like another love, I guess, thing that's happening. A very one-sided
very one-sided.
love story
Kumin
that's
could not give
happening
a
on the side.
fuck.
Doesn't, yeah, I don't even know if she knows his fucking name.
Yeah, yeah, I don't know
Dude,
either.
like she is like not caring, and he is like taking pictures of her while she's asleep.
I don't think he's doing that.
No, he is.
Oh, okay. Well,
He does.
okay.
I was like, yeah, dude, hell
Rock
yes,
on. All right. Well,
yeah.
that's a good way to end episode 8. What about 9?
So 9 is a confused chaos heart. So this is whenever my episodes start. I did
Yep.
episode 9 through 12, and I took a dumb amount of notes on this. So I'm just gonna kind of run. I'm not gonna say all my notes, but I'm gonna kind of run through it. So episode 9, it starts off with the festival. They're about to have a high school festival, of course, and they're talking about what they're going to do for this festival as their club. And they're basically going to put on a performance, basically just like what do you call it whenever you're in public and they just kind of pop out and start doing a show?
Like a flash mob?
Flash mob. That's what they're going to try and do is a flash mob because all the other rooms and things are going to be taken up by other clubs. Um, they haven't really talked to Yuta and Rika because this was when the last episode during the beach. That was summer, so they haven't really talked. They haven't really spoken. Every time that Rika and Yuta lock eyes, she kind of like goes away from embarrassment. Um, it kind of goes more in depth that Rika and Toka had a very bad interaction on episode 7 and 8. So Rika's not eating what Toka has made her, and she's not talking as much. Um, Basically, Rika and Yuta, they decide to skip the festival practice that they were going to have, and Rika and Deko get together and like, hey, we're going to attack Yuta because he's been what is the exact word that they used? It was fucking hilarious. He's Oh my god, I gotta find it. He was put under a spell by the singularity, and they're going to attack him to get rid of the spell. So Rika's like,
Oh,
"Hey,
yeah, yeah.
you should come out. You should come out to the forest at nighttime."
Yeah, Rika
And
doesn't understand what her feelings are because of
yeah,
her Chunibyo, and she's like, "Oh, it can't be that I like him. It has to be that this isn't the real Yuta."
exactly. So he's been put under a spell by the singularity, and so they go and they're like, "Hey, we're gonna me and Rika and Deku are gonna fight Yuta to get that spell away from him. And so they meet up. Yuta doesn't know what's happening, and he quickly realizes what is going on because they start to commence a battle scene. And then Deku and Rika are running around Yuta, and Yuta just sticks out his hand and pops Rika. She falls down, and then as she's getting up because she's hurt, she's like crying or whatnot because she just got fucking clotheslined. Yuta reaches out his hand and they touch hands, and that's like third base in manga.
Right.
So
Yeah.
they're basically getting married now, and she runs away, and that's basically how this episode ends. Is
Yes.
yeah, it's her running.
The thing while they're running around circles around them is they're doing that thing where it's like if this were a show with superpowers, it'd be like, oh, which one's the real Rika? But it's just
Yeah.
two completely different people. And instead of giving into their like delusions, he just fucking straight up clotheslines Rika.
Well, okay, so I apologize. Episode 9 is actually a pretty big episode, so I lost a little bit of my notes, but um, this is the rooftop scene. So
Oh,
this
is
is
it
how this
really?
ends. Yeah, this is episode 9. So they're getting ready for, I guess, the festival, and Iwatani is trying to get Rika to understand what her emotions are, that she actually likes Yuta, and he's not under any type of spell. Um, so there's a bunch of scenes of her showing Rika a romance anime or manga, being like, "Hey, you should try these. They all don't work." So Nubitani is like, "Hey, there's a sign that needs to be hung up on the outside of the school. Y'all two need to go up to the rooftop and hang it." Once they get up there, Nubitani's on the ground, and she's like, "Hey, they're bringing the sign. You just got to hold up for a second." And while they're up there, Rika and Yuta are having a intimate conversation. Yuta's like, I don't know why or I didn't at first. I didn't know why you were doing what you were doing with her Chunibyo state, but I understand it now after everything that happened in episode 7 and 8. And she gets up, I'm assuming to hug him, and she slips and she falls, and Yuta jumps out and grabs her, and she's just hanging on to the ledge of the roof. And Nibutani's downstairs on the ground. She's like, "Hey, if you go to the third story, you can grab her." So he gets up, he goes downstairs to the third story balcony, grabs her legs, and pulls her down. And then the episode ends by Rika and Yuta. They're hugging each other, and Rika's crying. That's how the episode ends.
Yeah.
So this episode is really just showing that Rika likes Yuta and how she's dealing with it in her persona. And Nupatani is trying to get her to realize that she actually has feelings for Yuta. That's basically the gist of the episode.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. The way this one ends, because usually it's like every time a character in most other shows realizes like, oh, I like this other character. It's like, oh, well, here goes 3 episodes of them. Neither one of them saying it. But this
Yeah.
one, it's like it ends the episode where like, oh, okay, they both know it now.
Yeah.
So
And
this one was good for that because I mean it's not a long series. Like the first season's 12 episodes, so it had to
yeah.
happen eventually. And at this
It's
point, at episode 9, it had to happen real quick.
yeah, because like they of course they know it now after the events of episode 9. They know that they like or that they like each other, but of course in anime fashion, they don't want to say it.
Right.
Which brings us, I guess, into episode 10.
Go for it.
Holy Mother's Pandora's Box.
Nice.
So it starts out because Deco's having a hard time because Rika's found love. And she doesn't want her master to be taken away from her. And she's like, hey, Rika's like, hey, we embraced on the rooftop. So she knows that there's, a very short amount of time until her master has been taken over by the spell.
Right.
They skip Rika and Yuta skip practice again for their festival. And they were like, "Hey, we gotta tell you." Rika's like, "I gotta tell you something." Yuta's like, "I gotta tell you something." So they walk home together, and it starts to rain. So they walk into only what I can assume is a McDonald's to get out of the rain. and they're like, hey, we gotta talk, but I don't want to do it here. So they end up walking outside into the rain, and they start walking home. Rika's umbrella gets blown out of her hand,
Because
and
why is
they're like,
something Mark II prototype?
yeah, they're like, let's go get it. So they go walk down, and they go to grab the umbrella by the river, um, and she finally tells Yuta that she likes him. And then Yuta's like, he goes into his persona, the Dark Flame Master, and is like, yeah, I like you. And then they hold pinkies instead of hands because they were embarrassed, which is
Yeah.
second
Well,
base.
Yuta asked her, he's like,
Do you want to hold
yeah, do you
hands?
want to hold hands? And she says, I offer my pinky.
Yeah, and that's like second base in anime, so that's cool.
Right,
Uh,
right.
Yuta gets home, and after all this had happened, and Toka's there in his room because she likes to sneak into his room for some fucking reason. And she's like, "Hey, we need to talk." They go to a restaurant. She sits Yuta down. And she's like, "Hey, I got a job in London, England. My
Italy.
mom, who Rika, no, it's London.
I thought it was Italy.
It's London." And she sits down. She's like, "Hey, my mom is coming to live with Rika in the house or in the apartment. I don't know how this is going to go because they don't like each other. Because Rika's upset that her mom didn't tell her that her dad was dying, which is understandable." Uh,
Yeah,
Fucking,
it is
it goes into a
100% Italy.
yeah. Is it? Because
Yeah.
I well, it might be different in the. Did you watch the dub or sub?
Duh, brother.
You watched the dub?
Yeah.
I could have swore it was fucking London. Anyways, um, it turns into a conversation about Rika needing to grow up. So festival day comes. Yuta and Rika are dressed in their cosplay because they're going to do a fight scene for their festival uh, thing. And Yuta's leaving as they were dressed up, and he meets her mom, and Rika's not there. He gives her a lunch. He goes sits by a tree, and he's having a fucking hard time at it. He's like in his mind, he's like, dude, do I need to tell Rika to stop? Stop being so delusional with all the stuff that she does. It cuts to another scene to where Nibatani and Yuta are sitting by a fence. Nibatani's and the Dark Flame Masters get up, and you find out that Yuta didn't participate. Neither Yuta or Rika participated in their festival performance. Nibatani did, and it turns out you don't see it, but a small scene happens to where you see Yuta yelling at Rika to take off the eye patch and stop doing what she's doing, stop being so
He
delusional
doesn't
and
really
come
yell.
up with
All he
reality.
says is it's time to take off the eye patch or something like that.
Well, she says that I shouldn't have yelled, is what he
Yeah, yeah,
says.
you
And
don't see that happening, but
no, you don't see it happen. It's like a scene that comes up, and it's like a picture, and it's like her running away. So he's like, I shouldn't have told her to do that, blah blah blah. And while they're having this conversation on the fence line, there's a contest for a small performance contest being held at a stage out front. And Rika gets up there, which is very off brand of her, and she sings in front of everybody her father's song. And that's how it ends.
well,
She's singing
yeah.
in front of everybody.
At the very end, she takes off her eye patch and her color contacts gone.
Yeah, at the very, very, yeah, yeah, yeah. But she sings and she takes off the eye patch.
Yeah, and then yeah, I mean, episode uh, this one is setting up the inevitable sad arc of every rom com ever.
Yeah,
And
and it sets up an
fortunately, the sad arc only lasts 1.5 really episodes. Really, actually, one and like 3/4 because it gets happy at the
yeah,
very end
one and
again.
three
But
quarters because it does get happy. Of course, in any slice of life romance anime, it gets happy. There's
yeah,
a point where everything kind of
there's
comes
got to
together.
be a sad part just so it can get happier again, right? And
Exactly.
we're entering the sad part here, so yeah, I mean, you pretty much touched on everything. There's really not much else to add
There's not a
besides,
lot because everything is pretty cut and dry in these episodes.
yeah,
That's the thing about it. It's like there's so much room to talk up until episode 9 when they kind of confess their love, and then episode 10, 11, and 12 happen where it's very,
yeah,
this is what happens.
it
Like,
goes from each episode being full of just antics of basically you if this if this show was written by children with hyperactive imaginations, it goes from that to then being a real love story for the like next 3 episodes.
Yeah, and it gets very sad. Like episode 7 and 8 kind of sets up like that emotional aspect of this series. And what I like about it is those first episodes are hilarious. The fight scenes are fantastic. You kind of understand what Chunibyo is, and then whenever 7 and 8 happen, it flips.
Yeah.
100%, it flips, and then it gets into like some really deep emotional things. So it's pretty cut and dry these last episodes. I guess we can get to episode 11,
Yeah, go
which is
ahead.
One Weekend Fallen Angel. Toka's packing up for Italy.
It is Italy.
Uh, Fuck you. And Rika walks in. So she's not in Chunibyo. She has no eye patch on. And these scenes are super dark. Like there's a gray film over all of these
Yeah.
scenes. And it's like super dead. Everybody's upset, or not everybody's upset. Rika's upset. Um, Yuta kind of explains that it's been 3 weeks since Rika took off her eye patch, and she's having a really hard time speaking to people in layman's terms. She's still trying to fight off, speaking in Chunibyo. Um, they walk to school, Yuta and Rika, and they're crossing over a bridge, and Deko shows up, and she's acting in Chunibyo, and she's like, "I'm gonna fight off the evil Rika is under, and because she's not my master anymore." Um, Deko doesn't take it well because they're basically brushing her off. Um, Most of these scenes are Yuta really battling with Rika being normal.
Yeah.
So he's having like a hard time her not having that imagination.
Yeah.
Um,
As this episode goes on, Rika, or you can tell Yuta's fighting on like saying like, "Hey, go back to how you were," but he just can't bring himself to do it.
yeah, because he knows that she's better off not being in Shinibio, but her whole personality is gone.
Yeah.
So he feels super bad about what happened, and he wants to say something like "go back to normal" or the way you were, but he can't because he doesn't want her to keep being delusional about everything. So Rika gets to the club after school, and Deco has some blue rocks, and she's like, "These are magical rocks," and she's super excited. But Rika is really trying to not fall back into Chunibyo. Um, Depatani, after that scene, she drags Deco out of the club room,
Well, yeah,
and
that's when Rika tells Sanai that she's dissolving
she's
the club.
disbanding it. Yeah,
Yeah.
she's disbanding it. And so Nibatani is like dragging Deco out of the club room, and it's actually a really sad scene
Yeah.
because Deco's like trying to run back into the clubhouse or the club room, and she's crying, and she's like, they've taken my master away, and cue the sad music. Um, it cuts to Yuta and Rika cleaning out Rika's room, basically taking all of her Chinibya stuff. And there's a couple of flashbacks of every time that Yuta picks up something like the Mauser, and basically showing that her imagination is gone. All these things are being put out to the trash, basically. Rika tells Yuta, she's like, "I'm going to my hometown to visit my dad's grave," which is the first time she has acknowledged that her dad is dead.
Hmm.
And Yuta takes her to the train station, and he's like, "Hey, you're just going to visit, right? You're coming back." And she's like, "Well, yeah, my school's here. I can't not come back." While they're at the train station, Deco comes up. Another super sad scene,
Yeah, dude.
um, where Deco comes up and Yuta basically just goes off on her. It's like, "Hey, you need to stop acting delusional too. You're not helping anything." And he her she's like she runs away, and she's like, "I know that. I know none of this is real." And she's like screaming, crying.
Yeah,
Um,
I think this scene I didn't realize it until after I saw it. Like Deco knew that
Yeah.
if Rika gets on that train, she's not coming back.
Yeah, and that's what it sets it up. It's like you realize whenever Yuta says you're coming back, that's like a big foreshadowing moment.
Yeah,
It's like
everybody but Yuta realizes she's
every
not.
everybody but Yuta. And so Deco, like, this is the first time that she breaks Chunibyo in this entire season, or all these episodes. She's like, I know this is not real, and she just runs away crying, and it's super fucking
Yeah,
sad.
dude, if there's anybody this whole series who has like the saddest repercussions from Rika turning normal, it's Sanai. Like at the end of this
Oh, dude,
episode,
she got
I
so
felt the
rough.
worst for Sanai than I did like Yuta or Rika.
Oh, dude, same. Like, and I feel like they really took their time on making Sanai like really sad. Like she really shows her emotions in these episodes, to where she's crying, and like they're playing sad music. They know what they're
Yes.
doing.
And also her voice actor is amazing. I can't remember
Oh,
the name, but it's a very noticeable one.
yeah,
Because I've heard her in many other things. She's an amazing voice actor.
yeah. So super sad episode. Of course, it sets up the events of episode 12. Um, and Internal Engage is the name. Starts off with a flashback of Rika at her dad's funeral. Really sad moment. They're pouring water on his grave because they clean the graves. Um, Yuta feels really bad about going off at Deco, or on Deco, or Sanai, of course. He goes up to Rika's apartment, and this is whenever he realizes uh, they moved. Their name is ripped off of the door. And Yuta goes to the club room. Deco's there acting normal. She changed her hair. She kind of took his advice a little bit. She's calling him his or her upperclassman. Um, Ishiki finds Yuta and tells him that there's something wrong with Kumin. They go to the classroom and Kumin's acting Chunibyo. She's got on Rika's eye patch. She's explaining, or she explained that this was handed down to her by the Wicked Lord. Not to buy, or Nubatani and Yuta are cleaning out the club room. And she tried joining the drama club and explains that everybody was acting fake, kind of like Chunibyo, and that everyone is always telling her to be what they consider normal. And he tells her that that was pretty deep, and she's like, "No, you're just shallow."
Yep.
That scene was like, okay. Um, Yuta gets home, and his little sister tells him that movers had come up to Rika's apartment that night and moved everything out. And he goes to the train station. He's like, I got to get up to Rika's hometown to get her back, but the train's already gone for that night. And he feels super bad, and he feels very responsible about making her move away. He finds a note from the Dark Flame Master, which is himself, basically saying that he was going to be, the most powerful being.
It said the Mayan calendar. What's the word? References the
He,
Mayan calendar and how it ended in 2012. If everybody remembers that,
yeah,
we're aging
yeah,
ourselves here, but
yeah, real.
it mentions that and how like at one day he'll forget that he was the Dark Flame Master and how
Yeah,
he
it's
shouldn't and
it's
how he's the chosen one and he's special and blah blah blah.
yeah, it's to himself. It's stating that he might not still be the Flame Master, and he is complying and being normal, but he has great power, and he is the chosen one picked by the Wicked Lord. So he realizes that all these trains are gone. He sees that note that he wrote himself, and he starts biking to Rico, which is a far way away. And on his way, Kuman stops him, and she's acting in her Chunibyo impersonation.
Yeah, she calls
It
herself
cuts
I,
back.
the Wicked Lord too.
Yeah, yeah. Scene cuts back to a flashback of her Rika's father passing. Turns out, whenever after her father passed, Rika had moved into Toka's apartment, which is above Yuta's, and she saw Yuta playing in Chunibyo, and she thought that shit was badass, and so she basically put the eye patch on, and started acting Chunibyo because of Yuta. And she used it as like a barrier between herself and the real world to deal with her emotions. Um, So it cuts to Rika. She's at her in her hometown bedroom, and she's looking up at the stars. Um, and Yuta appears. He biked all the way to the hometown. He shows up. She's on the second floor. He crawls up to the roof, and she's like, he's like uh, he claims that he's not Yuta. He's the Wicked Lord, and he needs to show her something. So for some reason, a cop's out and spots him up on the roof. It's like, hey, you need to get down. They're like, no. And Ishiki and Nubatani are there, and they draw the cop's attention away. And the cop starts chasing after Ishiki and Nubatani, and Yuta and Rika jump off the roof and escape. Um, it's a full sequence basically of Rika taking Yuta to the invisible boundary line, and Yuta tells Rika to tell it what she wants, and she says goodbye, Papa. And then the invisible boundary line disappears. And then the last scene is basically Rika and Yuta on a bike, and they're pedaling away from the cop, and Rika's back to herself now.
Yeah.
She is like casting spells against to the cop car, trying to get it to go away, and that's it.
Yep. Yeah.
So
Rika was able to stay in her Chunibyo world and finally accept the fact that her father's gone. And unfortunately, we're not doing season 2 next week. It will be added to the wheel, but we'll have to wait and see what finds out after this. We'll have to wait to find out what happens after this.
Yeah.
Until it randomly pops up on the wheel, but statistically, it'll happen eventually.
Yeah. Statistically, yes.
And Izzy will hopefully be joining us next week. I just realized that I have the live set to private on accident. Not that anybody would have.
And that's why. Except I've been refreshing it this entire time. I'm like, dude, I swear to God, we're not fucking live.
Yeah, I realized that at the 30-minute mark, and I was like, fuck, I can either tell them and we can start over, or we can just roll with it and I'll upload it to the channel.
Yeah, fuck it.
But yeah, that's my fault. So if anybody was trying to catch us live, sorry. Not that anybody probably was anyway.
No.
But yeah, so closing thoughts, and then we'll spin the wheel.
My closing thoughts, I got a lot of them. I love this anime. This is, of course, in my top 10. The way that it starts out so comedically, and how you know that all this is just dumb impersonation of an anime character. You think you're badass, and then how it flips and gets into some really serious stuff and how sad it gets. Of course, I don't like the sad parts, but it makes it such a good anime.
I don't think it'd be as good as if it was just carefree all 12 episodes.
Yeah, exactly. It wouldn't be like it. It would be. It would still be, in my opinion, a good anime.
Oh, it'd be good, but like you wouldn't.
But
I don't know.
It's really defined by the last 4 episodes, in my opinion.
Oh, 100%.
Like that is the definition of this anime and how it flips and changes to being super deep, and the flip is awesome, and how they incorporated.
I think the reason
the
reason why it's so fondly remembered is because the anime does such a good job of explaining why Rika acts the way she acts, whereas most would be like, "Oh, she's just that way because she's that way." You know what I'm saying?
The thing is, it's like wild that at first you have no idea, and it's like you just think that she's just being super imaginative, and she's just kind of an oddball. And then it really just breaks down why she is the way she is and what she's doing. And it's really well done. Very well done.
Super well done. Yeah, I agree. I mean, I kind of enjoy the sad part because, I mean, it's a mainstay of every slice of life anime ever. There has to be the sad part. And this one does it very well because...
Very well.
One, the sad part is really only one episode. You don't have a lot of time to stew over like what's going on. Whereas like a lot of them are like, oh, we're gonna make the first half of this season fun, and then the second half's just gonna be as depressing as we can make it.
Yeah.
Whereas this one's just like, oh, hey, here's 8 episodes of pretty good times, or really good times. Our first 4, it's like all jokes. Then you got
Yeah.
5 and 6 where it's like all jokes, and then 7 comes around and it's like, oh man, why is
Start
Rika?
getting into something.
Yeah, why
Yeah.
is Rika so like resistant on wanting to go to her hometown? And then it's like, oh, here's why. And then 11's like 8, 7, 8, and 9 are just like backstory on why Rika is the way she is. 11 is just the fucking tears your heart out. And then
Yes.
12 is like, oh, this is the best way I could have thought to end this.
Yeah, because like it's even not Yuta and Rika that are having such sad things. In my opinion,
It's everyone.
Dekamori, dude, she fucking got the shit into the stick, and it's like all the really sad moments really kind of help. They're really kind of her moments, and
Yeah.
it kind of shows that the Chunibyo isn't really just a thing that they do, but there's a reason behind it, and
Yeah. I mean, at
it's
this point, it's who they are. You know,
yeah, exactly.
it's not just a quirky character trait. It's like,
Yeah, like in the back of their mind, they know that everything, like what's happening and what's real, but they're really trying to mask it
yeah.
using these personalities. So,
Yeah, great
yeah,
one. Highly recommended. If you've never seen it somehow and you've been watching for a while, this is one that many people recommend. So
yes,
if you've somehow
yep,
never seen it, definitely give it a watch. It's amazing. And then we'll pull up the wheel, and whatever wins today will be replaced by Chunibyo Season 2. So if you want to
yep,
share your screen,
yes, sir.
let's see
All right,
here. Hold on, let me watch it and then move my face off the stream. All right, we got what we got. We got Samurai Champloo, Konosuba, 1726, Mashal. Dude, your spelling's amazing. Brilliant Park and Uncle from Another World.
yep,
Oh hell yeah, dude.
Samurai Champloo. All right,
That's all right. So now the list will be. Let's see here. We're taking off Samurai, so it'll be Chunibyo Season 2, Konosuba 1726, Mashal, Amagi Brilliant Park, Uncle from Another World. All
yep,
right. Next week, I'm going to hold on in the stream or into your stream so I can get the thing back to normal. But yeah, next week we'll see y'all with Samurai Champloo, and hopefully an Izzy will be joining us.
cool.
And we may potentially have one more person joining us. I won't say now,
Possibility.
but Jake's
Yeah,
going to work
possibility.
on that. And if it happens, then cool.
Yeah,
But yeah, we'll see y'all next week for Samurai Champloo. Y'all have a good week and peace.
you boys.